Scott, give me your reaction to the main event tonight. Gegard Mousasi retaining his title.
I mean, I think John Salter's a tough guy, great wrestler, and I just think Gegard's experience took over. I think conditioning took over at a certain point, and he did what he had to do. I think that he's been out for a while with some inactivity, which is something that I think we're going to pick up the speed for his next fight, try to get him in here right away. Hopefully in the next few months, not a few months, but several months. But I look forward to getting him back in the cage as soon as possible, as soon as Austin's ready.
Yeah, and I was going to say that matchmaking's evident. Usually you say, oh, we got to go back and talk to the team and, spend the next couple of days discussing options. But you guys had your mind set. What is it about Austin? How did he, earn this title shot, so to speak?
I mean, look at his performances here. I think, he's earned the right to be in that shot to get the title shot. So let's see how it goes. I mean, hopefully he's going to be okay towards the end of the year, beginning of next year. But we're ready to put that fight together when he's ready.
This card only had 8 fights, but I feel like it pretty much delivered from top to bottom. Was there anything else that stood out to you on this card tonight?
I mean, Stots, wow. That kid is amazing. So he fought a tough Magomedov, and to me, I think he clearly won. So I know sooner or later people are going to start talking about or whispering about the 35-pound tournament. I think it's more and more likely that we're going to head in that direction. And we got some great 135s, and maybe next year that'll be the division. But man, when you see performances like that from from Stots, I was really, really impressed.
The co-main event, your former champion Andrei Koreshkov's back in the mix finally. You have a lot of Russian fighters that are asking to be on that card in Moscow. Are you gonna be able to fulfill all those requests?
The answer is no, because there's too many. We have too many great Russian fighters, honestly, but we'll do our best to accommodate as many as we can. And it's really important to them, and I feel that when I talk to them and the managers, and sat down with Alexei this weekend, and sat down with Shomenko, who wants to fight there as well, because he's a legend in the Bellator ranks, and he's been here a long time. Currently, he's not in the contract, but when I first came on board, he was the guy, and him and Koreshkov were the 1-2 in Minakov at that time. So. Before I got here, they had a great Russian contingency of fighters. We've just beefed it up and took it to a whole nother level. And we'll probably announce the rest of that Russian card in the next week, and then it's going to be a fun event. It's possible. I mean, the only thing I told Lexi, just to be honest, is that the timing is tough because it's so late in the game. Like if you would have came to me 2-3 months ago. But the reason why, like for instance, like Koreshkov hasn't been here fighting, or Alexei's guys, is that it's the visa issue trying to get him into the country. So we've been able to get some of the Russian athletes here, and some we have not been able to get here. So timing. I haven't seen Alexei, and this is the first time I ran to him. So we haven't talked about Russia, but now that Russia is real, this is not going to be the last time we go to Moscow. So I said, just be patient. We'll try to do what we can, and we'll stay in touch.
Scott, congratulations on another tremendous show. Talk about the crowd for a second. We've been here with Mohegan Sun. I think it's like 20 in a row.
Yeah.
I've never heard Mohegan Sun louder from the very first prelim all the way to the main event. Talk about the crowd for a second.
It felt great, and remind me of LA a couple weeks ago. I mean, to have people in the building, it just feels great. And I was telling somebody earlier, I said, you forget how important the fans are until they're there. Like last week and this week, it's like you start thinking that this is you forget how this should be the way that it feels, right? This is how it should feel.
Yeah.
And I think that you get so into doing our events and producing it for TV and having a no audience situation like for the last 18 months. So to come back and have this is the first time we set up a real ringside area and a real fans on the floor. To me, it's a great feeling, and I love it.
Yeah, I agree. It totally added to the night. I'm glad you just mentioned the LA card. I got to ask you about AJ McKee. Obviously, a Star was born that night. You've been saying you believe he's the best 145-pounder on the planet. I want to ask you, he's also number one in your pound-for-pound rankings. Is he just the best fighter, period, regardless of weight class?
Yeah, I think he's earned that right. I mean, Pitbull is a legend here at Bellator and in mixed martial arts. So he was ranked pound for pound. And you know, I take my hat off to AJ because he took care of business. And, you know, he told me a week before the fight, or maybe the week of the fight, he said, "This is going to be an easy fight, Coker." Yeah. I said, I go, "Really?" Like, he goes, "No, it's going to be an easy fight, trust me." And he was really confident and went out and he took care of business. So to me, he walks the talk. And until somebody dethrones that kid, I think he's the greatest fighter at 145 and pound for pound the best in our company.
What about the whole world? Do you think he's the best in the whole world?
I do. I mean, who's going to beat him? Yeah, I mean, you guys are reporters. You guys know all the fighters. Who's going to beat this kid? Yeah, he is that good. So, I think that when I first saw him fight years ago, I saw something in this kid. Saw a lot of potential in him, and he had a little swagger, had a little, gift of gab, and could, he had that it factor, and he has developed into a big star. And you guys saw it the other night, and the way he fought Pitbull, man, was, listen, it's very rare that you see such a dominant performance in such a big fight like that, right? So, it was his night.
And my last question, we talk about, grabbing a star right at the beginning, like you did to AJ, and building my way through. I got to ask you, yesterday you tweeted out to reigning NCAA champion Gable Stevenson, now Olympic gold medalist Gable Stevenson. Any chance, are you flirting with him, or is this you're really going to pursue him?
Well, I can tell you this, that we've already been in touch with his management. I do know that he has a couple years left of school, wants to go back and wrestle. So there's dialogue going on. But I think he really wants to wrestle right now. But if he wants to come to MMA, we'd love to have him here. I think nobody builds athletes from, like, say, the wrestling or build them from ground up the way that we do. I think we're the best at it, and I think it would be a great home for him.
There was a lot of disappointment that we didn't get the Legends versus Legends fight with Fedor, but, JDS, Overeem are still available. Is there still a possibility they could come to Bellator, or is that unlikely at this point?
I mean, you know what, to me, we have so many fighters under contract. If there's a necessity for it, like if Fedor would have said, "Oh, I want to fight this guy or that guy," then we would have probably put it together. But, Fedor wanted to fight Tim, and this was, like I said in a couple of interviews, I said this is something that he decided, I think, in his mind when Modowski fought here, and Tim fought Modowski, and he came to me and he said, "Look, I want to fight Tim if he beats Modowski, and I want to fight for the interim belt against Tim." So in his mind, I think he planted the seed there, and you can't blame him. I mean, Tim's ranked number 2 or 3 in Bellator, and so he wants to test himself and continue to fight the top guys. So that's something that's going to be up to him. The other guys, listen, they've all had great runs. A lot of these guys are legends, and if we decide to have a fight or two, it might happen, but we'll see how it goes.
A lot of people were disappointed when Yoel Romero, didn't get his debut for the Grand Prix. Now, he didn't clear medicals. He cleared them now. Could you give any details on why he was able to clear them now? What changed, or is just kind of just one state's medical testing to another was the difference?
Yeah, I mean, that's something I think you'll have to ask him and his management, because that's really between them and the athletic commission. So, but I've heard that he's cleared, and obviously we wouldn't have booked him if he wasn't. So he's good to go. We have a great fight in San Jose, which I'm really excited about because, San Jose is such a great fight town. We've had such great events there in the past with Strikeforce and with Bellator. It's going to be, I think it's been 2 years since we've been back, so I'm really excited about that fight. And Yoel and Phil is going to be a great matchup. So I'm looking forward to that.
Hey, Scott, congratulations on a great run and a great cap-off to Mohegan's son. Listen, I got a 2-part question. Jake Hager's been asking for a fight, and he's got the AEW, everything rolling. Mm-hmm. When are we going to see him fight next? And my second part is Charlie Campbell, amazing performance last time. Are we going to see more of him?
Yeah, with Jake, really, it's up to him. We've been working around his wrestling schedule because, he's been doing such a great job at the wrestling company. And so I think that, when last time I reached out to my guys to reach out to him, I think he said at the end of the year, unless the Fedor fight was available. And if the Fedor fight was available, he would love to fight Fedor in Moscow. I think that would have been a crazy promotion, and I don't know how, great of a fight it would be, but it would be a great promotion. But, one thing when you deal with heavyweights, man, you never know because one punch that's all it takes. Whether the guy's ranked 1 through 10 or not ranked, or he's just a big guy or pro wrestler. I mean, Jake's got skills, but it would have been interesting. But Fedor just said, "Look, I want to fight the top ranked guy, and that's the direction I want to head." So. Yeah, I'm not really too familiar with that, so I'll have to get back to you.
Hi, Scott. Thanks for the time today. I saw that the UFC parted ways with Kai Kamaka.
Mm-hmm.
He's a familiar face. He's fought for Bellator. Are you interested at all in re-signing him?
Yeah, I think my guys are talking to Brian and see if they can put something together. I'm not sure, but that's something that we'll know in the next week or two.
And with Stots versus Pettis under horizon, do you think we might see Bellator in Milwaukee?
That's a possibility. We definitely had that conversation to come do a fight in Milwaukee with the venue there. That's a possibility, but we'll see.